Hi, and I am here with the last week of Kit Consiracy, and I am playing with, or we are playing with, the Cottage Fields collection from Simple Stories. And I just wanted to share with you guys that I cut up the entire sticker sheet that came with the collection. And then I also added in a bunch of the leftovers that I had from the, I think it was Farmhouse Garden or Farmhouse something collection from last Kit Consiracy. I apologize if I don't remember the name. And then from Minte, I brought in these cardboard stickers from Country Fair. So I only know that because the title's still on the stickers. And then I had the washi tape left over. I brought in some brads and metal bits and pieces. I brought in some flair from Scrap Bin Happy Studio, some epoxy buttons from, I think, Altenew. I don't remember. And then some tickets and leftover bits from a Prima collection. You guys, I don't use Prima, so I don't know how I ended up with those. And these little black pieces are very thick cardstock embellishments from Close to My Heart. And I have a few bits and pieces left from the Elena collection. So I really mixed it up. I'm just going through to see what else I have left over from whichever whichever collections I have. I think it was called Country Farmhouse, was Vintage Country. This farmhouse word is actually from a mistake cut that I did. So I'm looking forward to using it on a layout. And then from 49 and Market, I brought in some chicken wire washi tape. That was the only thing that I bought from that collection. And then from Pear Tree, I believe that acrylic piece came in my advent calendar, which, you guys, that was an amazing advent calendar. I was impressed with the whole shebang. I loved every bit of it. So Marie, if you're watching by any chance, I'll take another one, please. That was awesome. All right, so I'm going to get started. I just picked out 3 papers that I wanted to use, and then I've got our beginning photos back in the last Kit Consiracy. I want to say it was November, you guys, that we did Kit Consiracy with the country Vintage Country. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what it was called, but I know it was Farmhouse. And if you guys know what it is, please let me know. I should have looked it up before I started the voiceover. And I promise that rest of the voiceovers, they will be looked up. But anyways, I wanted this collection, this Cottage Fields collection reminded me of the first collection that we played with. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could probably get all of my layouts finished using this collection, and it'll match the other collection fairly well. Not exactly, but fairly well, especially if I mix the embellishments up with it. So I was super excited about that. So my first layout, I'm just going to start ripping and tearing and doing all the things. And then I really wanted to incorporate this large roll of washi tape because I only have about, 13 or 14 of these large rolls within my scrap room, and I need to start using them up. They are a decent size to be used as an extra piece of paper. So why don't I use those? I don't know. I honestly have no clue, you guys. So I'm going to use the washi right up at the top because I needed an extra piece of paper. And especially when you've got, when I want to give it a farmhouse look to this, that chicken wire just blended right on in. And then of course, the printed paper always looks country to me, in a small little way. I don't know why. I just think that it has that feel to it, newsprints and all that good jazz, the county fair type of flyers, things like that. Is what I think of. And then of course, with country, I have to distress everything. So these layouts do take a little bit longer when you choose to distress, but I love the dimension and the texture that distressing adds to my layouts. They don't have to be big and bulky. And that's one of the things that I love about the edge distressor is it adds that texture and dimension and no bulk. So I absolutely love that. All right, and the reason why I went a little hog crazy, that no pun intended, with these layouts or with these photos is because well, honestly, there were how many scrapbookers went to go feed baby cows? You're going to have a lot of photos. So we actually shared everybody that took photos, shared all of their pictures, and it was fantabulous. And I could not make up my marbles on which ones I wanted to keep. So I basically kept them all. In all honesty, I did decipher which ones were similar to, but not exact, and picked my favorites of those. But yeah, I just went crazy. I didn't pick 5 or 6 of the same collections. I have 5 or 6 pages of the photos. So my title is going to be Special Day to Bloom and Grow, and then eventually I'm going to add the word together. A lot of these layouts have the word together on them because we did this as a team. We did this together, and I thought it was pretty cool that everybody wanted to go do this. It was such a great time. It was amazing. So I'm just going through all of my embellishments bowl by bowl and picking and choosing what I would like to add to this layout. What are the colors that I want to bring in and whatnot. And because I have the alpha sticker sheet, again, from one of our Kit Conspiracy kits that we had, I had the alphas left over mostly from that Good Day Sunshine, again, by Simple Stories. And it was that blue. So I'm trying to bring in these blue flowers because really there's light blue in my butterflies, and that's about the only blue in that one little piece of paper. And it's not a focal paper. It is just an accent paper, and so it's not really sticking out there saying I'm enough blue. So I'm trying to bring in some of that blue, and these tulips are just gorgeous. I could not use them in the other collection, only because it was a different feel for it. It really didn't have that blue feel for it. I did a couple blue, I think maybe 2 blue layouts, but no, most of them are peach, and same with this collection here. Most of these end up being peach because that's my pink. That is my warm color that I tend to draw to. I love peach, you guys. I really, really do. And don't be shocked if you guys do end up seeing a pink layout throughout this week. Oh, I hate to admit it, but don't be shocked. You're gonna see one. Eventually. Actually, you might have already saw it. Who knows? So I'm going through all of the little bits and pieces. I did pull out this flare. This flare is available in my monthly embellishment box. It came in the month of March, I believe, or February. I lied. It's February. I'm going to take this beautiful acrylic piece from Pear Tree and actually color it with alcohol markers. I'm just trying to decide which one I like the most. So I flipped it over on the back and tested each and every one of my markers. Now, when it comes to alcohol markers, patience is the key. Your first coat is not going to do it justice. You need to keep adding and adding and adding. And the way that you add depends on the look that you're going for. So if you want a nice, smooth, seamless look, then you write on it as if you were writing the word out. Glide it over and write out the word just as if you were handwriting it yourself. I just said that. If you want the mottled look, the blotchy look, then dab it on and let it pool up as if you were playing with alcohol ink, because that's technically what you are. I did not want the blotchy look. I wanted the written look. So I am actually, even though it doesn't look like it, I am actually writing it out as if it was my handwriting. And then after a while, I started getting this shading effect over on the left side of all of my letters, and I really liked that. So I was just trying to mimic it throughout my entire acrylic piece instead of just in 1 or 2 pieces. And then I got the color that I was looking for, and it was beautiful. I loved it. Just deciding if I wanted to add the heart back in there. I do add a little bit. I turn the heart from stark white into a off-white, just again using my alcohol marker, but I don't end up putting it on this layout in case you guys are curious. because I find another use for it on another layout. So it does end up getting a double use out of one acrylic piece. That's so awesome. I did cut off those tulips so that way I had a more like a foundation piece for it. I know it's supposed to be a journaling spot, but I really liked the fact that it grounded my title instead of my title being overlapping the photos, but not really having a resting place in the blank spot of my layout. So at first I wasn't really sure how this layout was going to look, especially with the mixing and the matching of the product. I'm not very good at mixing and matching of the product unless it is for titles or if they're all the same manufacturer. Most of these are Stampin' Up! No, oh my gosh, did I just say that? I apologize. Most of these are Simple Stories. However, they just didn't have the same feel. It was different. Just to say that it didn't. One of them was more like, what am I trying to say? One of them was more grungy, I should say, even though they're both from the vintage collections. One was more grungy and the other one was more teenage girly, if that's a thing. And so when I tried to mesh them together, I wasn't sure if I was doing a good enough job. So especially with this first layout and the second layout, I still had my doubts. Under Bloom and Grow, I had one of the rulers from Prima. Like I said, I don't do Prima. I have no idea where I even received those tickets and things from Prima. So I'm glad that they are getting all used up. They will get all used up. I have none of them left, so I'm super stoked about that. I did add a canvas flare that said the word together from Scrap and Happy Studios. Excited about that. I got 2 flare on this layout. It's one of my goals to use up my flare, not because I want to just use them, but because my stash is growing. I have this little bin that they rest in, and it's almost about an inch deep. And like I said, I'm a digger, so I love to sift through all of my stuff. So I don't want them all in a row or on a piece of paper or anything like that. I like them all in this bin and I can sift through them all. Even if I have to dump them all out and sort through every single one of them, it's one of my favorite things to do with my supplies. And then it keeps me informed of what I have too. So here's where I'm struggling just a little bit trying to get the flower placement. I have a big old gap. But I don't know what to put there. So here's some butterflies and a heart, and I still have a gap. I'm not really excited about that, but it's also next to my friend's face. And that's another part that I'm struggling with, is because I don't want to make it look like she's got a butterfly coming out of her ear or something like that. So yeah, it is a struggle because her face is so close to her face is on the edge of the photo. So I don't like the gap, but yet I do have, I don't know. It will get resolved. It will get fixed eventually. I'm just not excited about the fact that something isn't working right there. I've got trapped space is what that's called. Well, there's what I've heard it be called. So now I'm just looking for some smaller bits and pieces, like I said, to fill in the gaps. I feel like this layout is almost done, but I do need to fill in the gaps. I absolutely love the background. I absolutely love the photos. I love the title. But those embellishments over on the left, I'm struggling with. So I'm just trying to find little bits and pieces, and I find all of these seedling hearts. Now, it's like seed packets are printed on top of the hearts, and they match the bottom paper, the newsprint papers, really well. And so I go ahead and I add a few of them in there to fill in the gap, but I don't fill it in all the way. I just fill it in enough for it to look like I meant to leave those gaps. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I didn't end up, having butterflies coming out of my friend's ears and things like that. So I really like it, and I really think it draws attention to that photo as well. So that is my layout. I absolutely loved how it turned out looking, even though I had my doubts and I was kind of sort of hooing and hawing over it. I really enjoyed how it looked in the end. And then especially leaving it out overnight and checking it out again, at the next day and saying, oh, wow, that I really do like that. So anyways, be sure to check out Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl Creations, here on YouTube, and see what she is doing with her last week of Kit Conspiracy. I'm so sad. But we will come back with this in November, I believe, is when we are going to make a comeback for this kit. And yeah, anyways, here are 2 more videos for you to go check out if you're interested in seeing what else I have been up to lately. And I'll check y'all later. Bye.